Well, hello out there. Welcome to this week's edition of Friday Night Fever. I am Jim Holder. Thank you so much for joining us. Week number five of high school football. We actually have some schools taking the night off. Tupelo, Oxford, Lafayette, Smithville, Pontotoc, Bickersville, Thrasher, Faulkner, H.W. Byers, just to name a few. There might have been others. But we still got plenty of highlights and scores, which you can find on our ticker, and you can find them at WTVA.com. All right, we begin with our game day haircuts and spa game of the week. First time ever to East Union for our game of the week. They were hosting East Webster, and this should be expected to be a great matchup, and it was, especially the East Union offense and the East Webster defense. And here we go in this one. And Ty Walton for East Union looking for his receiver, but intercepted by Luke McKee of the Wolverines, and he's going to take it all the way down around the 5-yard line. And East Union fans are disappointed right now, but hoping for more, hoping for a stop. But Stephen Betts handing off to Tyreek Pittman, and he will score the touchdown. And just like that, the Wolverines have the early 7-0 lead. But East Union, they're going to keep firing. Walton back to throw, looking for Colton Plunk. And this time, not only will he find him, it'll be a 25-yard touchdown. And the Urchins cheerleaders pleased with that because it's 7-7 going to the second quarter. But back comes East Webster. Betts, the handoff to Pittman. He's going up the middle. 15-yard touchdown run. Wolverines playing a tune, strike up the band because East Webster's grabbed the lead at 14-7 again. But back comes East Union. Walton airing it out again in front of our own Alvin Ivy. It's DeJuan Hubbard. 35-yard touchdown grab, and he lets him know that he's there. Yes, he does. 14 all, but in the end, wild game. East Webster gets the win, 62-38. Wolverines still undefeated on the year. All right, Moorville at New Albany, and homecoming at New Albany tonight. Lots of pictures, lots of fireworks in this one. Moorville went 3-and-out on its first possession. And here's Mason Simmons taking the punt for the Bulldogs. He bobbles it at first, but he gets loose, gets free, and he's going to take off down the sideline. And there he goes. This one's going to result in a touchdown, but called back because of a block in the back. Not called back by much, though, because the fans are into it. No problem for Charlie Lott. Little pass out here from Lott to Isaiah Cochran. This will go for a touchdown, and the Bulldogs grab a 7-0 lead. Walton's been in some wild games lately, and they were in some more, but hold on the score because the Troopers answer quickly. Dawson Phillips deep to Donovan Caldwell. Inside the 10-yard line, the ground forcing the fumble. As mentioned, Tupelo not playing tonight. Trenton Hayes-Hammond checking out the action. That sets up a quarterback sneak by Phillips for the tying touchdown. Had some ejections, we're told, at the end of this game. In case you didn't figure it out by now, New Albany does get the win by the final score of 38-7. They're now 4-1. Water Valley at Calhoun City. Blue Devils, of course, defending 3A champions. Calhoun City always tough in the boneyard early in the first quarter. Wildcat defense forcing Water Valley into an interception. Juwan Tucker breaking free there and finally going to be brought down. And then the Wildcats taking over on offense. And here's Chardarius Hill rushing in. Touchdown. Wildcats on top early 6-0. They go for the extra point. Of course, the fans are on hand. Blue Devils, though, with the block. But in the end, the Wildcats get the win in this one. Calhoun City a winner. At home, 14-7 is that final. Hatley at Mantachie. Go to the Tatch. Mustangs off last week after they were our game of the week a couple of weeks ago. And Kel Hunt taking the carry for the Tigers. Brought down for a loss. Mustangs going to get the football back. Jacob Frazier connecting with Billy McDaniel there for a first down. And then Frazier looking long again. Jake Weigel over the middle. That's a first down. But the Tiger defense looking to stop this one. Stop this drive anyway. Frazier trying to look for Weigel again. And eventually he will find him. In the end, though, Hatley's going to get the win in this one. Tigers win on the road. 34-19 is that final. Perhaps the wildest game of the night, or one of the wildest games, French Camp at TCPS. Second quarter, Eagles are up 14-12. And here's Kai Holiday finding Noah Foster, who's just going to fight and fight and fight. And he'll finally fight his way for 6. TCPS up by 9. Eagles added a field goal to make it 24-12. But then the Panthers answer. Philip Carradine here getting the carry. And Carradine, the touchdown carry. French Camp went for 2 and missed. They're now down just 24-18. Eagles ensuing drive. Holiday going to work again, trying to find his receiver, but instead this time picked off by Calvin Johnson. And Johnson's going to make a big return. This one down inside the TCPS 20-yard line. Looked like he might not go down for a second, but finally does. Moments later, that would set up this play as Johnson playing quarterback as well. A little pitch out to Carradine, and that's going to go for a touchdown right in front of us. That tied the game up at 24 apiece. Eagles turn to respond. Holiday. That's how you come back after an interception. Find John Avery Harrod. Touchdown, 31-24 TCPS. And then time running out in the half. French Camp with the ball, trying to get something before the half. Johnson finding Wes Pruitt, but Foster making the big stop. Pruitt was down for a couple of minutes, but he would get up. And in the end, TCPS gets the win. Look at that, 52-44 Eagles, just one loss on the season. And their only loss was 2 last week, Nanawaya. And the Warriors at undefeated West Lowndes tonight. Here's Tylen Glass of Nanawaya, big return on the kickoff. Panthers struggling with the Warriors, especially Austin Sanders. Now you see him, and then now you don't. Here he is. Got behind the referee, got behind his blockers. Here he goes. He's going to make a big gain, and in fact, this time going all the way for a touchdown. Nanawaya on top early. Still early in the first quarter, though. Panthers coming back. Marquez Shelton here, taking this one. And Shelton off to the races. He'll go for a touchdown on this one as he runs by our own Nicole Dantzler. She keeps up with him. Glass, though, would score another touchdown for the Warriors. And Nanawaya getting a big win on the road, 35-24. That's the Panthers' first loss of the season. All right, we ask you to vote each week on our Instagram account for our Friday Night Fever Band and Cheerleaders of the Week. This week's winner is East Webster. We're going to hear from the band in just a minute, but right now the East Webster Cheerleaders take us to break.
Let's go Wolverines! Let's go Wolverines! Let's go Wolverines! Let's go Wolverines! Let's go Wolverines!
All right, our Band of the Week from East Webster. Great job by the Wolverines. Welcome back to Friday Night Fever. I'm Jim Holder. Scores on our ticker and at WTVA.com. Let's continue with highlights. Eupora at Houston. It was homecoming tonight at Houston. And here we go, 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Eupora's looking for their open man, trying to get something going. But Evelyn Davidson taking it all the way for a touchdown for Houston. Hilltoppers are rolling. They'll get the extra points to extend their lead to 13-0, and here it is. Eagles trying to come back in this one. Kate Atkins, as the topper looks on, sacked by the toppers. And then Houston looking for more as Red Parker looking for John Bridgman, and well, connecting, not quite connecting. Houston, though, getting the win in this one, 25-0. Houston will play Itawamba AHS next week. Indians beat Senatobia tonight. That will be a great matchup. Boonville at Saltillo beat the Devils. That's what the Tigers were trying to do, and this was a tight one. As Davion Price cutting back. Big run. Stopped. And then John Daniel Deaton looking for an open man. Trying to find somebody, but he's going to be brought down. Boonville was up 14-6 at halftime. Deaton trying to connect on third down, looking for Price, but that one is going to fall incomplete. So Saltillo taking over. Jake Prather looking for his receiver, but batted down by Zeke Webb. That was a nice play. And then Tyler Smith will turn the corner for a touchdown, it says here, for Saltillo. Saltillo had the lead in this game, but in the end, Boonville is going to get the win. They had 3 touchdowns late in this one. Saltillo scores here, but Blue Devils from Boonville get the win. 35-20 is that final. All right, Belmont at Baldwin. And the Cardinals, visitors, trying to spoil the home game for Baldwin. Here comes the Cardinals. Eric Hacker here, nice little play. It is indeed game day or game night. Maddox Ritchie for the Bearcats looking to throw deep, but sacked by a couple of Cardinals. So Belmont will force a 3 and out. And Hacker here is going to find the edge. Big gain here for Belmont. Goes for a first down. And their quarterback Garrett Rooker trying to make a play downfield, but he's going to be brought down for a loss. In the end, Baldwin going to get its first win of the season. Bearcats win at home, 33-26 is that final. All right, Ripley at Amory. And here we go. Ripley trying to play spoiler on the road. Of course, the Panthers had their game of the week last week. They're winning in the A game over Aberdeen. Here's Hunter Jones handing off to Jarquez Ivy. Not going to go for much, about a 3-yard gain. Next play, Jones to Ivy again. Will be bent in the backfield by Story and a host of Ripley Tigers. But in the end, it's going to be Amory getting the win in this one. 21-7 was that final. All right, Starkville's had an up and down season so far. They've had a tough schedule. Yellow Jackets have lost to Brandon and West Point. They've also beaten Oxford and Louisville. Tonight, Starkville was visiting Meridian. And here we go, the Big Blue of Meridian. They're 1-3 on the season, so big opportunity here for Starkville. Luke Altmaier here hooking up with Joshua Aka, 42-yard touchdown. Yellow Jackets on top early, 7-0. Meridian, though, playing some good defense in the first quarter, though, at least other than that play. On a 4th and goal, a big hit here by Khalik Morrissey, and the Cats make a big stop. Then after a Meridian turnover, the Jackets facing 4th and goal. Cameron Moore going to make a play and prevent a touchdown. Jackets would take a 10-0 lead in this one. In fact, they would take a big lead in this one. Starkville gets the victory on the road, 57-0. Clarksdale at South Panola. The Tigers undefeated so far. They are coming back like the South Panola of old. Well, defensive play, pick 6 for a touchdown, Jartelian Chapman. And then, well, here's more from South Panola. That one's going to go for a touchdown in the end. Give South Panola the win. Big, 39-6 is that final. New Hope at Aberdeen. It's Lester Miles Stadium, but it was New Hope. The visitors up 31-0. New Hope with the ball to start the second half. Braylon Miller met by Michael Walker of Aberdeen. Bulldog coaches say that's how you do it. But then later, Trojans, a little too much in this one, scoring an 8-yard touchdown. New Hope rolling in this one, 51-0 is the final in that one. New Hope getting the win. Vardaman at Hamilton. This was a division opener. And it was also homecoming at Hamilton. And there you see the Queen being crowned. Always nice. In fact, we'll show you the entire homecoming court. And there they are. A big night for Hamilton because they were hoping to get a win. Of course, Vardaman trying to get a win as well, and always big when you're playing a division game. We will start with the kickoff in this one. And Hamilton kicking off there to Hamilton. The Lions going to get a nice little return. And finally brought down. And a few seconds later, fumble on the play, brought down. So it's a loss. And then Ty Edmondson with a big gain for Hamilton. Coming into your living room, past your own Alan Matthew. Actually, that's Vardaman, I should say. Hamilton playing defense. Vardaman would have to punt the ball back to Hamilton. And that one's going to bounce there and go in there. Lions with the football now. And Ty Hall for Hamilton coming our way. And he's finally brought down, and not quite a touchdown. But here's Hall scoring the only touchdown of the game. Lions get the win on homecoming. 7-0 was that final. All right, time now for our college football preview. Several games are at 11 a.m. on Saturday. You've got Tennessee, Florida. You got LSU, Vanderbilt. You got Southern Miss, Alabama. We've talked about that game. There's also Ole Miss hosting number 23 Cal in an 11 a.m. kickoff. And Matt Luke and the Rebels have beaten Arkansas and southeastern Louisiana since losing their opener at Memphis. Now, the Golden Bears defeated Ole Miss 2 years ago in Berkeley. That was a late game, and Luke is hoping an early start will help make a difference this time.
That's why it's even more important for the fans to show up and create that home field advantage, because I feel like our players really feed off that energy as well. So just creating that home field advantage is key for us.
On Saturday, it is a little later. The Bulldogs host their SEC opener against Kentucky at 3 p.m. MSU defeated Louisiana and Southern Miss to start the season before losing to Kansas State last week. Kentucky also lost a close game to Florida, but Joe Moorhead doesn't buy that these two teams are desperate for a win.
in terms of motivation. I don't think necessarily desperation. I think you're going to see two teams that play close games. They're a little bit upset and a little bit angry about the outcome. They're going to come loaded for bear and get ready to get this thing back on track.
Of course, obviously, both teams want to win, but it'll be an exciting game. MSU, Kentucky at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Ole Miss, California at 11 o'clock. Evan Hensley will be in Oxford for Ole Miss and Cal. I'll be in Starkville for MSU and Kentucky, and Aaron Wilson will be here for our highlights tomorrow night. All right, that'll do it for this week's Friday Night Fever on WTVA. We're going to start over in just a few minutes over on WLOV, just a few seconds for now. For our entire staff, I'm Jim Holder. We appreciate you watching as always. Have a great night and a great weekend. Take care.